Hello and welcome back to another video, and today we are doing something which basically this is a video to make me feel very self-aware, because if you have been following my channel for a little bit, you might know that whenever I get stressed I have a tendency to buy books. So basically now I have quite a substantial physical TBR. Recently I was just reorganizing and decided to count it, and turns out I have 124 unread books. Physical books. Maybe I'll get in the end of this video to the digital books, but the digital books, it's a whole nother story. But yes, let me present to you my physical TBR, which you can see, which is here, in this whole section of my bookshelf, and then we have some here, in this cubicle, and it's a lot of books. I'm almost running out of space to put the unread books. If I'm not careful, I might fill the whole thing. But let's just start. Let me start presenting the books. From which section should I start showing you? Let's start by the hardcovers, maybe. I think that's a good idea. So the first book, it's actually not a hardcover, it's just the one that fitted in this little space. It is Persuasion by Jane Austen. I initially bought this book thinking it would be a different cover, and then this ugly cover arrived, and then I didn't want to return it and go through the hassle of going to the post office and returning it, so I have the ugly cover of Persuasion. The second book in the hardcovers section, it is All the Stories by Clarice Lispector, and this is a collection of all the short stories I believe Clarice Lispector wrote. Let me put the book back in their place so it doesn't get organized. The secret to remaining organized all the time is to always put things back in its place. Continuing on with the physical TBR, the other two hardcovers in this section, we have Christian Dior Destiny, the authorized biography by Marie-France Pochna, and then we have To the Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf. Then we have my three books by Verne, which I love these covers. When I saw them, I needed to buy them because they're just so cute and I don't really see them around. But first we have 21 something underground. I don't know, I just don't remember the name in English because I have my version translated to Portuguese. Just look at this cover, it's just so cute. Next book in this collection is Around the World in 80 Days, and then we have 5 Weeks in a Balloon. And again, I love these covers. How many times I need to say it? I don't know, but I can't stop remembering. Then we have Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sarah Rooney. This book has been on my physical TBR for an embarrassing amount of time, considering how much I've wanted to read it in the past years. But for some reason I never read it. I need to make a conscious effort to read this one. Then we have Wayward by Emilia Hart, and then these ones, they are series, so I'm going to pick the first books in the series. So I have King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo. This is the first book in the King of Scars duology, which takes place in the Grishaverse, which is the same universe as Shadow and Bone and the Six of Crow duology. I believe the order of that series is first Shadow and Bone, then Six of Crows, and then the King of Scars duology. I believe you can read this series separate, but they are very interconnected, so you'll get spoilers from if you read the books out of order. Then the second book in the King of Scars duology is The Rule of Wolves, also by Leigh Bardugo, of course. Okay, so we have A Court of Thorns and Roses, then I believe this order, A Court of Mist and Fury, then we have A Court of Wings and Ruin, then A Court of Frost and Starlight, and then the last book is A Court of Silver Flames, all by Sarah J. Maas, basically the whole ACOTAR series. Then we have Happy Place by Emily Henry. I've been wanting to read this book ever since it came out. It's still in my physical TBR. Let's do this little pile here so I can put back A Court of Thorns and Roses in it. Remove my little shoes, which I got when I was a little kid in Buenos Aires, and they're just so cute, even though the point of this one is kind of broken. Leave the little shoes here. Let's go to the books. Underneath this pile we have Violeta or Violet by Isabella Allende. Then we have 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Then we have Stolen Air, The Stone Air by Holly Black. This is the first book. I don't know if it will be a trilogy or just a duology, but it takes place in Elfheim, the same world as the Cruel Prince series. Then we have two classics. We have Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier and Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. This book also has been in my TBR, but not like just my physical TBR. This book has been on my books I want to read next TBR for so long. It's almost embarrassing. So where do we go next? Let's do this pile also so I can put King of Scars back in it. Don't fall. What is the order? Okay. We have The Problem of the Three Bodies by Sijin Liu. I bought this book quite recently. Then we have The Unbearable State of Being by Milan Kundera. Then we have King of Scars in this file, that's the order. Then we have The Virgin Suicides by Jeffrey Eugenides. This is a cult classic, at least this is a very popular classic on TikTok, and I'm just curious. And I finally managed to get it. It was on the post for quite some time. Then we have Mansfield Park and Northanger Abbey. I showed these books on my most recent book haul as well. Okay, so first we have I don't remember the name in English, but it is something around the lines of Times Between the Seams or something like that by Maria Duenas. This is a historical fiction that takes place, I believe, during the dictatorship in Spain. Second book in the bio is The Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead. This book has been also on my TBR for an embarrassing amount of time, and I bought it because it just sounded so interesting, and then I just kept reading and listening to mixed opinions, including by people I know have similar tastes to me. So I'm a little bit apprehensive about reading this one because I'm no longer that sure I will enjoy it. Then we have Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Where is the other Taylor Jenkins Reid that was supposed to be in this pile? So they can stay together. Oh, here. We have Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. We have The Switch by Beth O'Leary. Vox by Christina Dauscher. A Man Called Ove by Frederick Batman. And Alone With You in Theater by Olivia Blake. Let's put this pile back in its place. The next books in that pile are Magnolia Park's The Long Way Home by Jessa Hastings, and then we have Daisy Hates the Great Undoing, the third and fourth book in the Magnolia Park's universe. We have Big Swiss by Jean Bigan, Careful by Stephanie Stephanie Garber. Then we have The Insatiable Life of Addie LaRue by V. Schwab, another book that has been on my TBR for an embarrassing amount of time. And these next ones are also in my TBR for an embarrassing amount of time. We have this one which is called, what is this called in English? The Heart Goes Last by Margaret Atwood. Then we have another Margaret Atwood. We have The Penelopiad, which is quite a short book, but I still haven't read it. Then we have The Blind Assassin, also by Margaret Atwood. Then we have this book called Impression d'un Voyage by Antônio Bezerra Carioca. And this book, basically the story is, when I first started learning French around 2016, 2017, my mom got me this book. And I never read it, and then one day I went to search about it on Goodreads, and this book isn't on Goodreads, and I never heard of this book before. I never heard of this book after my mother decided to give me this book, and then I just never read it, and it has been on my TBR since around 2017, so it's been a while. Then we have Jorama by Carol Benson. then what pile do we do? Let's do this one that has my little toy. We have the When the Coffee Gets Cold series, the 3 books in the series that were translated, published and translated. My version is translated to Portuguese, but they're the same ones that are translated to English. I think they're releasing a 4th book in the series. Then we have The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison, another book that has been on my TBR for an embarrassing amount of time. And continuing on that vibe, we have A Clockwork Orange. We are not going to talk about how long this has been on my TBR. Then we have The Secret History by Donna Tartt. Oh, the book, I never know how to pronounce the name. Keep the Aspidastra Flying, and my version is translated to Portuguese, and in Portuguese, my copy is translated to A Planta de Ferro, which would be something like the iron plant. But the thing is, there are like 1,001 translations of this book to Portuguese. Its name changes. I went to Goodreads, there are a million names to this book. It's weird. I don't know what to say. It's about apparently a man in 1936 that doesn't believe in capitalism or something like that. Then we have Heidi by Johanna Spyri. And then to finish this pile, we have Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky. Let's change a bit. Let's go for the classics. So the first ones in this pile are Foundation by Isaac Asimov, White Nights by Fyodor Dostoevsky, The Adventures of Robin Hood by Alexandre Dumas, The Nutcracker by Alexandre Dumas. And then let's pick my little selection of French books. We have La Dame aux Camélias by Dumas Fils, La Chute by Albert Camus, La Peste by Albert Camus, Les Mille Excessifs by Albert Camus, Les Fleurs du Mal by Baudelaire. And this isn't a classic, but it is also a folio classic, and I thought it was like, it just fitted perfectly in terms of size in style, which is Hotel Casanova by Annie Ernaux. Continuing on the pile, we have Lovable Loves by Milan Kundera, The Book of Disquiet by Fernando Pessoa, The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien, Madame Bovary by Gustave Flaubert. My edition is in English. Don't ask me why I got an edition in English of Madame Bovary, even though English is not my native language and I can speak French. I don't remember, I think it might have been on sale or something like that. But I also had this book for an embarrassing amount of time. And an even more embarrassing amount of time it has been the time I own Jane Austen by Emma by Jane Austen. Let's finish that's a pile. So first we have another book on my TBR for an embarrassing amount of time, Don Quixote by Cervantes. Then we have, these ones are more recent purchases. We have The Sorrows of Young Werther by Goethe, The Saga of Gösta Berling by Selma Lagerlöf, and My Year of Rest and Relaxation by Odessa Moschweg. Let's move to this little section here in the corner. First we have 1K84 by Haruki Murakami. I own this book for over 4 years. Then we have The Costume History by Auguste Racinet. And these ones are more recent purchases. We have The Last Word, I believe that's how it was translated, by Stênio Gardel. The Lost Daughter by Elena Ferrante. A Lesson in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus, and Identity by Mitu Sanyal. Now let's move on to the non-fiction shelf, or not shelf, the non-fiction pile. Let me move these ones here and push this one out. Not looking forward to that. On this bottom here we have The Second Sex by Simone de Beauvoir. You need to trust me because I'm not going to remove this book from this pile. It's just kind of stuck and I don't want to move the other books around it to retrieve this book. Only since at least 4 years? I thought I was going to read it so soon. I was joking to myself. Then on top of The Second Sex we have The Beauty Myth, How Images of Beauty Are Used Against Women by Naomi Wolf. This is a not newer. There are some new additions to this book from in comparison with the original version of this book. Put it back in place. Then this is a pile that goes over that. We have Quiet by Susan Cain, a gift from my mom from many years ago. Still haven't read it. The Battle of Versailles by Robin Gibbon. The Writer's Journey by Christopher Vogler. Fun fact, this book is actually my mom's, but she was reading for so long and I thought it would be fun to just kind of get this book and put it in my TBR and see if she noticed it was missing. It's been months and she still haven't noticed it is missing. Hi mom, your book is on my TBR if you're watching. Then we have The Moment of Lift by Melinda Gates, owns book for embarrassing amount of time. Then we have The Chaos Machine by Max Fisher. This is another one of the books that's actually my mom's and she was waiting for so long. And I thought it would be funny to just pick it up, put it on my TBR and see if she notices it was missing. She still hasn't noticed it was missing. Hi mom, your book's on my TBR. In my defense, I told her I wanted to read them. First we have Women Who Run with Robots by Clarissa Pinkola Estes. Then we have L'impact éphémère by Gilles Lipovetsky. This book I believe was not translated to English, at least I never found it. Also not translated to English is this one, which I believe it's called Les Citations du Monde by Gilles Lipovetsky and Chance Roy. These two books are sociological takes on fashion. Then we have In the Margins by Elena Ferrante. Then we have On Liberty by Maggie Nelson. This is a collection of essays, I believe. Then we have My Friend Anna by Rachel DeLoche Williams. The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. Fun fact, my mom initially gave me the completed long version of this book when I was around 15, 16. I never read it. And then when I entered college, she gave me the short version. She was really expecting me to read. She had high hopes I would read. This book has been on my TBR for a long time, as you can tell, because I still haven't read it. Then we have another one that was a gift from my mom, The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. It has been on my TBR for a very long time. And then to finish off this pile, we have Vogue on Coco Chanel. This one, it's not a book, it's just my my notebook of autographs from Disney. Then we have this little pile here. The first one in this book pile is Les Apparences by Gillian Flynn, also known as Gone Girl. And this book has been on my TBR ever since 2017. So, funny story, when I first started learning French, there was this event in the school I was going to where they were giving out free books from their library, and one of the books on the table was this one. I had no idea it was Gone Girl, but it turns out it's Gone Girl. But I remember picking up this book and telling to myself, one day I will be able to read this whole book and understand everything in it. It has been years since I've had this ability to read a whole book in French. I still haven't read it, but now it's kind of a bride thing, and one day I will read this book. I just feel like I need to. It's kind of, I need to fulfill this promise to myself and read Gone Girl in French. The second book in the pile, it's a more recent purchase, and it is Pee-wee Summers by Stephen King. Then we have Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. And then we have A Certain Hunger by Chelsea G. Summers. So first in that pile we have my Dune box set, so we have 6 books in total here. So I'm already going to put it back in this place because this book is also, it's heavy and it is not going in this section because I just don't have the space. Now continuing on, we have Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. This is the second book in the not Holly Jackson. This is the second book in the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, and then it's underneath this pile. So let me remove it. Don't fall. We have As Good as Dead, which is the third and final book in the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, and then we have Killjoy, which is a novella from the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. and I believe it's also a prequel. It takes place before the series starts, so I'm going to put it back in place. Then we have, oh, another funny story. This book is called Leosa de la Principessa by Alessia Cazzola. I bought this book in end of 2019, I believe, and the thing is, when I initially bought this book, I had no idea this is the third book in a series. I don't know if I can actually read it as a standalone. I just know that ever since then, I searched the internet and stores for the first two books in the series so I can be able to read this one. Haven't found it, and this book is actually in Italian, and I believe it has never been translated to another language. At least I haven't found a translated edition of this book. Recently, though, I saw that the two first books in the series are available on Audible. So maybe I'll listen to the first two books, or maybe I just should try and read it as a standalone. I don't really remember exactly what this book is about anymore. It's something about a murder mystery. Then we have Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. And then we have the Six of Crows, Crooked Kingdom books, basically the Six of Crows duology. And then we have this whole pile. This is my romance pile, clearly. So first we have You and Me on Vacation by Emily Henry, The Bodyguard by Catherine Center, The American Roommate Experiment by Elena Armas, Mr. Wrong Number by Lynn Painter, Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter, It Starts With Us by Colin Hoover, Fun You Should Ask by Eliza Sussman, The Do-Over by Lynn Painter, The X-Talk by Rachel Lynn Solomon, It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey, and then we are no longer in the romance section. Now we have Bubble by R.F. Huang, and then we have A Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. This book has been on my TBR for an embarrassing amount of time. I think ever since it first started getting popular on BookTok. I was going to finish off this video just with the physical TBR, but you know what? Let me just give you a quick fire of all the books I own on Kindle, not Kindle Unlimited, books that I own. This will expose me as the crazy book lady, and yes, I do own a copy of some of the classics. I do own both in Kindle and in the physical copy of a book, because Amazon, there are, at least for Prime members, there are some classics that are for free in the Kindle format, so I just bought it just in case, even though I do prefer a physical copy. But let's start. Quick fire of all the unread books I own on Kindle. The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain, Dracula by Bram Stoker, Iracema by José de Alencar, Macunaíma by Mário de Andrade, O Amanhã Não Está Vendo by Ailton Krenak, Mansfield Park by Jane Austen, The Diary of Anne Frank, Don Quixote, On the Origin of Species, The Adventures of Robin Hood, Les Miserables by Victor Hugo, Moby Dick by Herman Melville, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum, Os Sertões by Euclides da Cunha, The Odyssey by Homer, Canti by Giacomo Leopardi, The Iliad by Homer, The Decameron by Giovanni Boccaccio, Emma by Jane Austen, Anne of Green Gables by Lucy Maud Montgomery, Bloodchild by Octavia E. Butler, The Merchant of Venice by William Shakespeare, The Side of Paradise by F. Scott Fitzgerald, Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens, The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett, The Lost World by Arthur Conan Doyle, Screenwriting by Bridget Conner, We by Evgeny Zamatian, Pashingo by Minjin Lin. Then we have 3 tomes of The Comte de Monte Cristo, which actually I guess this is read because I already read the book, but I do own it in French on the Kindle version because it was for free and it's my favorite book ever. Immersive Journalism as Storytelling, Ethics, Production and Design by, it's a bunch of authors, All Last Summer by Stephanie J. Scott, Wrong Text, Right Love, Claudia Burgoa, You're the Con That I Want by Mary Frame, Too Much Crime in My Hands, and Fake It to the Limit. These other 2 books, they are from the same series that I actually bought accidentally. I accidentally pressed a button on Amazon and I accidentally bought the whole series. And this was before I figured out that you actually can return Kindle books. If I know you then. it would have helped me a lot. Then we have Meet Me at the Bus Stop by MJ Ray, The Fletcher by Beth O'Leary, Secret Summer by Elizabeth Ray, Love Like Water by Dee Malone, Always You by Elizabeth Ray, Alice Obey de Marseille, Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll, French edition. Snowed In with the Billionaire by Lila Monroe, The Complete Works of Edgar Allan Poe by Edgar Allan Poe, Foundation by Lainey Davis, The Next Girl by Carla Kovacs, Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood, What Happens in New York by Christina Adams, The Happy Life by Seneca, Candide by Voltaire, French edition, Ready Player One by Ernest Cline, The Beautiful and Damned by F. Scott Fitzgerald, Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson, A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens, Great Expectations by Charles Dickens, The Haunt of the Baskervilles by Arthur Conan Doyle, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain, Beauty and the Beast by James M. Barrie, The Age of Innocence by Eddie Thornton, The Jungle Book by Rudyard Kipling, A Midsummer Night's Dream by William Shakespeare, The Moonstone by Vicky Collins, Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad, Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen, White Fang by Jack London, Leaves of Grass by Walt Whitman, North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell, Black Beauty by Anna Sewell, Silas Marner by George Eliot, Swans Way by Marcel Proust, The Call of the Wild, Jack London, Beowulf by Anonymous. Actually, I guess I already read Beowulf in school, but I also own a Kindle because it was for free. Walden by Henry David Thoreau, Candide, English edition by Voltaire. The House of the Seven Gables by Nathaniel Hawthorne, The Last of the Mohicans, James Fenimore Cooper, A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court by Mark Twain, The Red Badge of Courage by Stephen Crane, My Antonia by Willa Carter, The Awakening by Kate Chopin, Flatland, A Romance of Many Dimensions by Edwin A. Abbott, A Little Princess by Frances Hodgson Burnett, A Doll's House by Henrik Ibsen, If I'm From by Edith Wharton, A História da Beleza no Brasil by Denise Bernuzzi de Santana. Then do we have any more? No. So, crazy book lady. So that's it for all my TBR, both physical and digital one. Books that I own, not Kindle Unlimited, because if we add the Kindle Unlimited books and the Prime Reading books, it's long. So if you like this video, leave a like and subscribe. The buttons will be right underneath this video, and you can do both of them for free. I hope you like this video, and I also hope to see you in a video very soon. Bye!